Pontiac, I know, is the same as Chevy too, but there's a bunch of them because lifters are paying to build, and it was cheaper to just have somebody else build them, and once they start building a lifter this size, well, it works. Why change it? Why make something weird for our engine? And that is something that engineers really should be doing today. We have got too many parts. We don't need an engineer to sit down at a drawing board and draw another new bolt. There's bins over there with bolts that were invented way back before the 50s. They will work for 90% of what you're doing. Don't invent another bolt. Don't invent another flange. There's standard flanges. If you need to slightly change, but look at the amount of parts for a given thing today that don't interchange with anything else. It is stupid. That's one of the biggest problems why we don't have replacement parts for equipment. We used to have, go back to 1930, there were probably 10 fuel pumps. In the 50s, there were probably 20, and we had 40 of them in the 70s when I was doing this stuff. Of those 40, you could swap the parts internally between most of them. They were still mostly the same fuel pump with a different arm on them. They weren't that different. We don't need another bolt, another cover, another whatever it is that makes you feel good because you could sign your name on the drawing. See how many parts you can reutilize that already exist. Now, don't take an obscure part. Take one that's been used a whole bunch, and before it dies, let's make some more of them. That's why there's one rifle that a lot of people did not like when it came out, an AR-15. The reason why people really love AR-15s today is because of the interchangeability of the parts. And all of the suppliers, this person makes 22 million triggers, and somebody else makes 22 million barrels, and another person over here welds them all together. And, uniformity. It's a stellar engineering idea that was by necessity back in the 1800s. They had to start standardizing things. They had a hard time with it. They got it down pretty good by about 1915. Then they kind of wavered back and forth to around 1970. Then we got CNCs, and somebody said, "Ooh, all we got to do is tell the guy down in the shop to change stuff, and he could change it. So let's make another one that's different."